Hello YouTube and welcome back to the channel here today. Today we're going to be reacting to episode 3 and episode 4 of Revolutionary Girl Utena. Very happy to be here on this Monday. So we're back and I come with a little bit of meta knowledge, right? So there was some discussion in the YouTube comments that I might as well just bring up now that I'm just talking about them, right? Right here. So End of Valentine says that 3 and 4 go together. This is not the case, apparently, according to Simon, and is corrected by End of Valentine. 4 and 5. I've come to the realization that I don't care. So again, if it's a really bad stopping point for episode 4, I stuffed up. That's okay. We're going to wait a week, like people would have had to wait a week back in the day. But I wanted to do 2. I've got the time to do 2. I've got to make hay while the sun is shining, and even if the stopping points are bad, then they're bad. It's fine. I'm just reading this comment here. I get shit on. What the hell? Oh my god. I don't know. I was focused on the book or something. I've never seen the show before. Don't sue me, please. I'm imagining this is about the book or whatever, right? Anyway, I'm doing the comments in a weird order. Let's scroll down here. I didn't even notice that one. So I cut out my initial reading of this first comment here from Annie because I was being stupid. So I'm just going to do it now after the fact, and reading through it again, it actually kind of makes a whole lot of sense with what I talk about in these next 2 episodes as well. But let me tell you what I mean. The bird fights its way out of the egg is the world. Who would be born must destroy a world. The bird flies to God, that God's name is Abraxas. That is an extract from Hermann Hesse, I want to say, in a book called Demian, I'm guessing. And this is Ikuhara talking, obviously. I don't know if I said that at the start. When I was in middle school, my classmate T recommended me this book by Hesse. He said, "Inside this book is everything about me." I didn't know what he was on about. Me neither, really. However, that particular quote stuck with me. One day, long afterwards, T and I met up again after not seeing each other for over a decade. I brought it up. What was that again? He didn't even remember the book existed, let alone that he'd recommended it to me. To think he'd forgotten everything about himself. I wonder if Hesse wasn't needed in the world T lived in after middle school, in which case I wonder why I didn't forget. I experimentally added another passage to Hesse's. If we don't crack the world's shell, we will die without being born. Are you implying that potentially T didn't crack the world's shell? And you did? Maybe. I don't know. I'm sure T's very happy doing his own thing as well. Smash the world shell for the revolution of the world. As you can obviously see, a lot of this is being applied to the student council motif that happens before that. You got to break the shell of the world to be born. Revolutionize the world, all that kind of iconography. I am but a babe. I will grow into something that attains some amount of agency and anything else, right? Assistant director Kaneko and I discussed Anshi's character time and time again because I was obsessed with the idea of whether or not it was good. Nobody would want to watch a dark and depressing show. I don't know what he means by good in this context. That cooking schmuck over gym clothes look was the result of our conversations, and she finally turned fun. No, she turned into a mysterious girl. Oh my god. One step away from a revolutionary girl, of course. And yeah, talking back on this paragraph here, like, I do think the show does a good job at making Anshi's situation not as depressing as it could be through another lens. I'll say that. And then this last paragraph was the one I wanted to go into the most. Anshi is another Utena. In the initial stages of planning, I thought of the main character as someone who wanted to be a prince, but at the same time wanted to remain a princess. However, I decided to divide that personality into 2 characters. What did also wanting to remain a princess mean? I would agonize over the expression of Anshi for the entire series. I think this is, again, you'll watch the rest of this video and you'll see me basically getting at the point that Utena wants to be a prince but also wants to remain a princess. I talk about that quite a bit. What does that mean? What role is the real Utena? I talk about this. You will see. Anshi as a subdivision of this and her different roles as well is very interesting. They're both dual main characters in that way, I feel. Anyway, I thought this one was particularly interesting. For the episode commentaries in the future, I'm probably just going to skim them, see if they seem spoilery or insightful, and then maybe skip them or maybe don't. I don't know. It's one of the two. I'm sure people let people know if some stuff is particularly spoilery. I don't know. We've got a lot of people watching here. We'll keep each other in check, I feel. Next comment here from Al. What a great episode. And then we do a little bit of trolling here if you want to read through that. About specifically my stuff last week talking about spoilers and how I don't really want to be spoiled. So sure. And this is something that I wanted some amount of clarity to. So I'm happy that I got it. Good. A lot of people get confused at the scene where Utena opens the door to the dorm and it's broken, and the next moment she's outside and Anthy is actually cleaning. There's also been some discussion about Anthy versus Anthy. I think I'm just going to rock Anthy. I think that's just what I'm going to do. It's what I'm comfortable with right now, so why change up the formula? Anthy is a little bit... gets caught in the mouth a little bit. Anyway, I digress. I'm getting distracted. Like, people assumed that Anthy just magically cleaned the entire room in 5 nanoseconds, when in reality, the first scene is what Utena is imagining it may be like based on the fact that nobody has been there for however long. Anyway, this is probably the worst episode in the show, which means nothing considering the quality, but it has the least amount of interesting stuff going on in comparison to the rest. Really? I found a ton to talk about last week, some of which I apparently even got wrong, wherever that comment was. So I don't know. And then yeah, so we kind of got one comment trolling, this comment actually useful, this comment trolling, so I don't know, or paragraph I should say. Anyway, I digress. I've been through this one, so I'm bad at my job apparently, which isn't even a job. And I'll do the first half of this comment here as well. For the record, end of the world is more accurately translated to world's end, as in a location rather than an apocalypse. Maybe a tad spoilery, but I mean, that's probably a piece of understanding that a Japanese person would have that I wouldn't have, based on the translation. And yeah, for the record, more info about two-parter episodes is always appreciated if I don't right-click. Anyway, I should talk about this World's End thing. If it is a location called World's End, then it's an organization by proxy, right? Because a piece of land or a town can't send a... There's still an organization there. It's interesting. All right, we'll see. We will definitely see. There's a lot to uncover here, and I'm only really scratching the surface. Jeff Liu, next comment here. This gets brought up in this comment as well by Simon. Choo Choo is a monkey, thus the bare bottom. He's not a mouse. The mouse that was there before, it's a trick. It's a trick. It's part of Utena's own twisted mind, right? So, like, he's a monkey. He's just a very small monkey. I don't know what it is about comments being rude today as well. As someone who watched Monogatari, I thought you would give this episode some attention. I don't know, man. I haven't seen it. What do you want from me? I think what this is trying to get across is that it may be some kind of princely intonation causing Utena to do things or making her want to do certain things, right? The intent part is the part I'm still questioning. Again, we're on episode 2. Is Utena doing it in a self-serving princely ego kind of way? Or is she doing it all for Anthy, even on a subconscious level? What does the prince mean to all of it? These are things we will uncover as we go. It is episode 2, guys. Episode 2. And I don't even know what this is in context with, so sure. And as we always know, you can't say subs are trash unless you give me an alternative. And then we'll put it to a vote. Democracy. You know how democracy works. So we're going to do that. This is interesting, though. Toga is voiced by Koyasu. I kind of heard it. I didn't want to say it because I thought it'd be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. I'm doing 2, Simon. I'm sorry. If the tempo is wrong, the tempo is wrong. It is what it is. Next comment here from Rosie Gaga. He's the ultimate Ikemen husbando. No, Utena is. Very, very cool. I can totally see this for sure. I can totally see this. Saw episode 1 yesterday. Loved it. That's good. Thank you. And yeah, it just kind of goes into how much they love Revolutionary Girl Utena. Been a big fan for a long time. Wakaba is their favorite character as well. I relate to a Wakaba as well. I think she's very good. And yeah, we're going to be trying to think a little bit more abstractly this week, I think. Based on what everyone else is saying, maybe last week was a little bit of a simpleton take from myself. The other piece of context from last week is I just finished like a 10-hour shift before I recorded. I had a Red Bull and then I got in the booth, and that's not generally very good for this kind of thing. I had yesterday off. I've got today off. I'm just gonna go. Maybe I'm in a better headspace for it. We'll see. Next comment here from Victoria S. Generally, and for this timecode in particular, I think a potentially helpful lens for analysis is to remember that in the same way that Utena is distinguished boy from prince, or has distinguished boy from prince, excuse me, Anthy has previously distinguished girlfriend from bride. Interesting, right? Maybe this is me being male talking and me not having this inherent perspective to it, right? Like, in the same way that, you know, she's going for the role of this prince, right, based on pop culture, all these different things, maybe think of some of the things that are expected of a bride to a prince, of a princess in this regard, right? Think of potentially the way where Anthy is already in there cleaning, right? Is there trying to say something there? Is there content to be gleaned there that I'm not seeing? How is bride differentiated from girlfriend as well, right? What responsibilities is there for this versus this? Something, a different lens to look at it through, I think, that I'm not personally privy to. I guess I'll have to try to see it through that lens a little bit more. Apparently, we enjoyed the kind of context explosion at the start of my series as well, and it's always a blast to watch someone really dig into a really dense text, and it always warms my little lesbian heart when it's a dude digging into girls having feelings about girls. The anime. Haha. I've done this a couple times now. It may be a little bit of a trend. But yeah, a female perspective on this kind of thing is always appreciated, right? I haven't checked the analytics in a while, but I'm gonna have to imagine it's mostly dudes. I don't know. Despite what I watch, which is pretty broad, I feel, right? So yeah, this kind of stuff's great. Just different perspectives all the time. I love that stuff. And last comment here from Chobo Ruby. The previews are not especially helpful. I watched the show 7 times before looking at any previews. There are a few previews in the text that give a little bit of character, feeling, motivation stuff. And if there's some specific ones, I'm sure people will call them out. Other than that, I'm just going to skip previews because otherwise it's just going to be spoilers, I think. And then this comment here, I haven't really read because I thought this part seemed spoilery, even though they say it's not a spoiler, but I don't know, we'll see. Rightio, that was meant to be a quick comment section. It became a not very quick one because I had to defend myself somewhat. But yeah, we're going to be watching 2 episodes. What are the expectations? I don't know. One of my expectations is we're probably not fighting Saionji again, right? We didn't really see any fallout to what happened from the Saionji student council side, so they're gonna have to talk about that. Has this power of Dios manifested in this way in any time before this with these guys when they're dueling with each other? I don't know. To me, it was unclear if what happened as well with the prince descending from the castle. It was unclear if that was something that happened in real space. Like, could Anthy and Saionji see that? And, like, were they cognizant of that happening? Like, does anybody have any feelings there? I don't know. Because Anthy probably wouldn't bring them up, right? Because, you know, she's probably used to it. But Saionji, I don't know. Is it a metaphor? Is it not? It's a journey of discovery, people. We're going to figure that out. Again, I'm sure we'll talk about what happened at the end of the episode in some amount of context, or you're going to have to run with me and we're going to interpret it in a different way. We'll see. Either way, rambled long enough, so I'm going to jump into episode 3 very, very shortly. So yeah, chill stuff. If you like the video, consider liking the video. We're hitting our like goals, whatever they may be. But keep liking the videos, because I like that. Subscribe to the channel too. We're nearing 900, which is very, very cool. So I'd like to get to 900. That'd be a cool milestone. One step closer to 1,000. Pretty cool. Comment on the video. You'll get your comment read out like so. Just be nice. Basically. Twitter, you could follow me on Twitter and I'll follow you back. And Discord, join Discord, love Discord. Lots of discussions on Discord. There'll be probably a poll soon on Discord as well. I have to think about that today as well. Whatever the hell I'm going to do on the weekends now. And yeah, that about does it. So I'm going to jump into episode 3 of Revolutionary Girl Utena right now. Rightio, I have episode 3 of Revolutionary Girl Utena up there ready to go. I am recording, which is awesome. That's how you make a YouTube video. 23 minutes and 27 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with whatever your copy may be. Using the sum stuff subset, and there will be a picture-in-picture version in the description below for your viewing pleasure. Just going to give it a 3, 2, 1 and jump right in. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. Indeed. Be papas. Maybe a little bit loud on my end. Hang on this side. What was I going to say? I was going to talk a little bit more about metaphor versus what's really happening. Because it's not a criticism of the show at all, right? I'm just not picking up its style yet. It's the same thing with the Utena room thing, right? Where where it was like a dream sequence, right? Where she imagined what the room may look like. There just wasn't the telltale indicators of that happening generally. There wasn't any like doodle 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 or any of the vignetting, right? You know what I mean? Like that was a dream sequence. And again, not a criticism. It's just unconventional. Same with the sequence at the end. There was no characters exclaiming, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" or anything, right? So there's no indicator as to me whether it's real or not. But that, again, that's what makes the show interesting. So you can't have your cake and eat it too in that regard, I don't think. The more and more I look at this opening, I feel like it is very, very predictive, almost spoilery, right? We'll say. Yes. Yeah, I remember. I think I clicked 3. We're gonna say I clicked 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, wipe the tears from her eyes with his mouth, as you do. This would be the telltale sign after this if I clicked if I clicked episode 1 or episode 3. Indeed. Is that really okay? I don't know. Yeah, great. On the night of the ball. So I'm guessing some episodes will do that. Maybe to hit a certain time limit in the episode? I don't know. My man is in a sleeping bag cocoon. I think that's the implication, yeah. Sup? Are you doing my washing? That's a bouquet of different colored roses. I agree. You always keep to yourself in general. Yeah, good old Choo Choo, he's a good friend. Ugh. Ew. I don't like that. Imagine having to climb up that hill every day. God. But they're doing it. There really is tens of thousands of them. Huh. Oh. Hello. Yeah, again, you've had some implications that you like Utena, right? Check the ring. Don't touch my hair? Yeah. No, I'm the one doing the slapping. That's sick. It was so dramatic. Yeah, check the ring. That's what I said. I mean, did you not see the one that Saionji had? Probably not. Yeah. Is she getting mind flooded right now? Did Torga get his eyes kissed as well? I hope so. Like how Archie's just watching this like, what are you two doing? So yeah, she is mistaking Torga for the prince right now, maybe? We'll see. Mm-hmm. What is the stopwatch? Alright, and Sanji's acting like a little bitch. Cool. Could we talk in some specifics? Okay, the end of the world, by that implication, wants to revolutionize the world. Yeah, why does she have the seal? I mean, we know. Kind of. But they don't. Alright. Thoughts? Feelings? Oh my god, Sheamus murdered Utena. Look at them legs go. I agree. That was almost manslaughter. Oh, the little blush. I agree, this is a good thought to have. What's wrong? Hmm, don't believe the rumors. Oh god. Um, please save my girl. You ruined him? Oh my god. How many episodes in a row has she been, like, slapped too? Who the hell are you? Hello? That was Nanami, was it? Thank you, mysterious stranger. Oh yeah, the ball. We mentioned a ball, right? Yeah. Okay, him and me are senpai too. Are you a first year? Okay. Sure. she can hold a stare. This is a very intriguing episode so far. Jokers, you meant to take them out of the deck. Oh, really? That's funny. Bro, play her in. Get Utena playing too. That seemed like a boy's uniform? Oh no, never mind. It was just some bloke. Okay. She got that green on her. What? What are you eating? Alright. I think I understand who that may be from. What did he eat? Hmm. Yeah, but who sent it? Hmm. You could both go together. How about some human friends? That'd be cool. How? No, you're missing the point. How about Nanami? She seemed like she was something. Again, yes, of course, right. Yeah, seemingly we're not going to do a duel. Mm-hmm. Couple dogs. I mean, that's... Oh my god. What are the dogs about? Horn dogs? I don't know. The backgrounds are so cool. Yes, hello. She's got that yellow and purple on. Dear brother. Oh, shit. Didn't see that coming. I would have expected red hair. Like how all the characters that don't matter, just don't color them. I don't care. Yeah, she put it on. But not for Torga's sake. For Anshi's sake, right? So they could both go together. Hmm. Interesting. That's not who I thought. Yeah, you were looking at. She sounds so sarcastic. All right. Now I'm all on my own. Damn, Choo Choo's getting destroyed this episode. Okay, boy. The red roses that were given to her with the dress, too? Gaku no queen. Hmm. Bad touch? Huh. Yeah? Talk to me. Interesting. I think I know what Nanami's plan was here. I need to be saved, please. Oh, look at the hairdos on them. Wait, what? Okay, no, you're mean. What? What? We're doing some, like, carry shit. Okay, you're super weird. Okay, sure. Alright, we need a hero. I need some kind of prince, please. Is that champagne as well? Isn't everybody underage? But you did it on purpose. I saw you. Oh, it disintegrates? Oh my god. Utena, please cast your eyes over to the commotion. Alright, it's time. Spring into action, please. The soundtrack's sick, too. You put that together very quickly. Is she just a brocon? Costume change. Let's go. Sure. Worked perfectly. Oh! Choo Choo with the assist, too. And then dies. Classic. What color's the rose? Also, she's like 14 inches taller. Oh, she loves it. That's great. Get shit on. We hate you. How do you not know who Utena is? Yeah, how audacious. Yeah. She may be your real competition. Yeah. We're just dancing to this Super Mario Galaxy ass music. And reusing animation, because why not? Can somebody help Choo Choo? Alright, I mean, is that the end of the episode? There was no duel to be had. Yeah. So again, we're breaking structure there a little bit, right? That's not the exact same dress. No, it's not. But it has green stuff to it. Interesting. Yeah, again, I think figuring out all the different characters' motivations and what they wanted out of the scene as it's being revealed is difficult. I think once I go back through, I'm going to be able to say, like, okay, this is why Utena went to the party, right? Because a lot of my initial thing was, oh yeah, she went because aunt she needed somebody to go with and wouldn't go with like nobody, right? So I guess I have to wear this dress and I have to do this, right? But still, she kind of, in the back of her mind, still wanted to confirm some stuff with Torga. This song, what a hit, by the way. Um, I am very intrigued. I want to talk more about this episode, like a lot. Not a lot of content there, though, huh? And yeah, we're not doing these, of course. So yeah, a little bit of analysis on episode 3 of Revolutionary Girl Utena. And we're back. I've got the Google Doc up of other important stuff and questions. I've also went up here and I've added Nanami as Torga's sister, blonde hair, broke on. Don't know. Seems that way. Seems like she really enjoys her brother's company. Probably a little bit more than she should, if I'm honest. Either way, I've kind of highlighted new stuff in red, so we'll just kind of jump to that. This is kind of an answer to last week's question about like the dorm stuff. So, who arranged it to be this way? Did someone arrange it to be this way? Apparently, the student council did. To what end? I don't know. This maybe ties into this one, right? Torga is clearly interested in Utena, right? Romantically. He likes her. Utena's a bit confused. She doesn't know if this is the prince based on the ring that Torga's wearing, right? Is this the prince? It was a long time ago. I maybe don't remember so much of his facial features or anything else in between that would clearly distinguish that this isn't him. But you know what I'm talking about. But I digress. Why is Torga doing this is the question, right? So to what end does this help the student council? Or his aspirations to revolutionize the world, or the Rose Duels, or getting possession of the Rose Bride, or whatever else in between, right? How does this help him? Or, and bear with me on this one, he just kind of likes Utena and doesn't really care about the rest of the stuff. I think it's probably the former. A lot of people out here scheming. He seems like the scheming type. He's the type to put binoculars on his eyes and stare at things from far away. He's a schemer. So I'm thinking there is some ultimate end. Maybe it's as simple as I get Utena enamored with me. I'm a playboy. I've broken many hearts before. I simply get her to just lose the duel on purpose because she likes me and I'll do anything for you, and then by that point it's over. Either way, I think that's the major point going forward from this episode. We kind of got some other different stuff for Anshi and her motivations, and her doing things that she thinks that Utena will enjoy and playing this role of a bride. when there's a clear distinction between, I think, sometimes what Anthy wants to do and what she is obligated to do because of her status as a bride to a prince, and waiting to see this prince and all this other stuff, right? How much of that is on a conscious level, how much of that is on an unconscious level, I don't know, or subconscious level, I should say. It's a bit confusing, but we're going to go back through the episode here. I just wanted to note this one up here as well. Apparently, we're saying that the end of the world is a location, so we will see. We will definitely see on that one. I'm going to jump back into the episode. A lot of repeated content again, which I think is kind of the Ikuhara thing, so I'm just going to kind of get used to it. But as a result, is there a ton of like literal minutes for me to go back through with a fine-tooth comb? Not really. I will still have a ton to say, I'm sure. So the first very confusing thing was this. We replayed the whole intro to the show, right? Just as a little bit of a reminder. It is clearly very relevant to this episode. You can almost frame it insofar as Utena having a dream about it, right? If we go through here a little bit. Like here, right? So she's waking up, that dream again. Kind of like that, I think. But I didn't pick up anything here that I didn't pick up already, I don't think, right? Just, hey, I was so enamored with the concept of princelyhood, right? Pink Rose, by the way, that I became a prince instead of the princess, instead of the girlfriend, instead of the bride, instead of anything else, right? I've got the ring. This ring is drawing me towards whatever this is, this thing to revolutionize the world, whenever that may be, these rose duels. This school in particular, maybe. It's an interesting one. But we've talked about that already, like a lot in episode 1. Either way, episode 3 is called On the Night of the Ball, and we see why by the end of the episode, because there is a ball, there is some fancy dresses, there is some dancing, there's lots of stuff. I will say that Choo Choo grew on me this episode. He made me laugh like twice, so that's more than not at all from last week. No, he's fine. He's just, when he appears on screen, you just know that it's going to be like funny and cute for a bit, as opposed to the rest of Utena, which can be anything, right? It's a little bit more entertaining in that regard. And again, from this dream, Utena is taking the ring as proof that this dream was actually reality as well, right? So if I do have this ring, it can't have just been a dream, it can't have been something at the back of my mind, right? So this, again, probably talks to... because I can't remember things from my childhood in exact details all the time, right? It's just not how childhood works, right? I don't know how young Utena was. Maybe they say in the intro, but I would imagine she was pretty young when her family died, or her parents died, right? So of course she could mistake Torga for the prince, right? Because she doesn't have this solid concrete memory of it. This here is evidence of that. I'm taking this ring as proof that this dream that I keep having has happened, but I don't remember any of the other details enough to prove to myself in my own brain that it is fact. Which is a bit of a mouthful, but yeah, that's what I'm seeing from this. Anthy's really got some get up and go to her as well, right? So she's got this laundry basket, she's already in uniform, Utena's only just waking up now, and she's already up and about, she's like ready to go. And yeah, I don't know what to make of any of this, but at least she seems happy doing it? Or is happy being in the role that she's doing it? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's a weird one. Was she this up and about for Saionji? Is my question, right? Was she up and about doing his laundry, cleaning up, being lovey-dovey, dancing together, all these other things? Or is that just because... So, again, how much of Anthy's affection is based on her specific role as a bride compared to how she actually feels, right? And conversely, right? How much of Utena's princelyhood is because this is the role she has ascribed to herself, and how much of it is based on actual meaning, right? How much is based on how she actually feels? She went and she saved Anthy in the end of the episode because that's the right thing to do, right? But did she feel that was the right thing to do because she is the prince? She literally donned the costume, right? And then danced together with the bride. It's perfect, right? How much of that is because that was the expectation placed upon her based on the role that she has chosen for herself, versus, again, what she would do in a vacuum? and how she really feels. I don't know, but I think that's a lot of what the show is getting at overall. We bring up this line in the episode, which will kind of run through it, right? You keep to yourself in class, do you have any friends? I have one friend, he's over here, his name is Choo Choo. And we just watch Choo Choo be a fuck up for a bit, which is cool. And yeah, we kind of drop it there. If that's how it is, then that's fine, I guess, and then we walk off to school. Yeah, this is very funny. I like this bob here as well. And yeah, I guess we could say this as well. Utena specifically asks Anthy to drop the sama, the honorific there. You don't need to. We're friends. There's no power dynamic here that needs to be expressed through that, right? Like, you're not my servant. That's fine. However, all the other girls, in a cutesy kind of way, in a teasing kind of way, call her Utena-sama, right? But that's just because she's, like, popular at school, right? It's like a teasing thing. I think it is, right? And specifically, there's a difference when Anthy does it, right? You can almost hear it in the intonation in their voices. It doesn't feel like a joke when you do it. It's because I'm engaged to you, Utena-sama. And then Utena's like, stop the engaged thing. Stop the Rose Bride stuff. It's not necessary, right? Look, even if I look like this, I'm a regular girl. Regular is an interesting word there as well. I'm a normal girl. I don't want a bride or anything. All I'm interested in is regular boys. Lo and behold, Torga comes out, right, and goes like, I'm a regular boy. Look at him. Regular boy, boying it up over here, you know? Anyway, listen, this is important, but I also don't believe you, but also should I believe you? Because this is the actual you speaking, and not the role you've been given as a prince, right? I'm not well versed enough in the show to actually discuss these characters and their sexuality, right? I think one of the comments said as much. I forget whose it was, but they said trying to decipher this kind of stuff is ultimately probably fruitless, right? Because again, I think both of us here are only acting upon our roles. And I know I've talked about it enough, like already, but it's true. You're only doing this bridely stuff, in my opinion, because you are deemed to. This is the role that you have been given by whatever it may be. This is the princely role you've given yourself, but you're like, hey, it doesn't involve my sexuality though, right? Stop with all this stuff. But by the end of the episode, we're almost embracing this princely role, throwing that dress off, and dancing with the bride, right? In a white dress. What should we make of this? I don't know. This is framed as a good thing. I'm inclined to believe it's a good thing. I'm inclined to believe that back here, Utena is not being true to herself. Maybe. I don't know. I think this is a can of worms, and I'm not sure I really want to open it, but I'm just spitballing here. Either way, he says the regular boy line and Torga wanders over, talking about the Rose Bride. He checks if Utena has told anybody else about the dueling game. She says no. Why would I talk about that dumb stuff? And then he gets a bit handsy, starts touching her hair and stuff. Can't imagine that this is particularly comfortable for anybody, really. And is that a panty shot? Almost? I don't know. Who knows anymore? There's a slap here. It's not the only slap this episode, too. We love a slap in Utena. Essentially, it's like, don't touch my hair. She's being badass right now. I actually love the way it's framed here, too. Yeah, we're not that close, right? However, he doesn't take no for an answer and is going to continue to pursue her. It's not like we're entirely unconnected. Shows off ring, right? And this is when Utena starts to get a little bit confused. She's like, well, if you have that ring, why do you have that ring? He's like, why? So I could meet you, of course. He's using it as a little bit of a tactic here. I think he's a little bit of a manipulator. I love the soundtrack decision here as well. Again, I'm thinking that she doesn't have great memories of this. Otherwise, again, you could see character design differences and you would understand that this isn't the guy. However, now we see Utena for a large portion of the episode somewhat enamored with Torga, thinking that he potentially may be the prince. And again, it's interesting, just as she said that she was interested in regular boys, that this is what happened, right? I'd like to get to know you much better, walks away, and we're left... Again, I'm imagining the audience isn't left in any, confusion here. They should know that he's not the guy. Utena doesn't, though. The only other thing that I could think is that the prince in question, the guy with the darker skin, isn't a character in the show at all, and is just a manifestation of a prince, or a princely figure, that Utena has made in her own head, and she's not a reliable narrator when it comes to remembering what he may have looked like, if that makes any sense. So in actuality, this prince from her origins could have been anybody. This is just the figure that she's imagining because this is her ideal prince. That's the only other alternative I can think of here. I don't know if this is repeated, but I'll read it again anyway. If the egg shell is not broken, the chick will die without being born. We are the chick, the egg is our world. If we do not break the world's shell, we will die without being born. Or maybe this is just the intro scene to whatever student council shenanigans we have going on that episode. So yes, we must break the world's shell to revolutionize the world. That is the tenet of the student council, as it seems. It's almost like, prepare for trouble and make it double. It's a little bit of that to it, I think. They're very fun. Again, episodes have been very structured in this way. We kind of get an intro scene with Utena, just seeing what's going on, introducing some concepts, and then we'll peep over to the student council and see what they're doing before the rest of the events of the episode unfold. There was also very notably still the shadow people, right, explaining a certain portion of the story. We get a little bit of an update here. Saionji has locked himself in his room since yesterday and missed the school. So again, he's being a little bit of a little bitch, but we don't care about him. What's up with Utena? Is she trying to revolutionize the world like we are? The understanding here is that no, she's not. She's not getting the same letters, so she mustn't be aware of this world revolutionizing end to all of this, right? So if Utena isn't receiving the letters, then why does she have a rose seal? Well, why indeed? I think you may have an inkling as to why, but you're not saying right now, and you're using it to your advantage. We spy Utena spying on one Torga. No, that sentence wasn't great. Before she almost gets pushed out of this window by Wakaba. Wakaba is in this episode, so it must be pretty good. I'm a big Wakaba enjoyer. Wakaba notices that Utena has been staring at Torga. Now I understand. Now you get what? However, gives the advice that Utena should give up on him. He's the Academy's biggest playboy. He's broken many hearts, therefore he couldn't possibly be the prince that's on my white horse, right? He couldn't be the guy from my past. You can almost see here Torga notices Utena watching and then walks away as well, right? Almost as though he's playing it perfectly. Here's another interesting one too. Wakaba asks Utena who she's dorming with. She says Anthy. And then it's like, oh, that's tough luck, huh? She's unexpectedly popular with boys, apparently. I've heard some bad rumors. And then, yeah, she's getting beaten up by a bunch of other girls, apparently, because she was the one that caused Saionji to miss school for the day and miss Kendo Club, so we couldn't see him. Again, they just don't know the situation. They don't know all the facts and are acting upon things. Still sucks. I still don't like these three and their stupid hair, like, at all. They remind me of why they're always like shoujo bully characters like this. It reminds me of Fruits Basket. There's some bullies in that too. I don't know, it's an interesting one. So, okay, this is how we're framing Nanami as well. We have three girls bullying Anthy, right? And then she rocks up, she's got the yellow roses around her, and she looks so powerful and annoyed and stuff, right? It appears I may have to report this to the student council. Maybe gives her a tie to the student council, like, immediately. I was on board with her. I thought that she was kind of cool. But no, it turns out that she was just calling away the other bullies so she could bully her even harder, which is crazy. Apparently Anthy is the most popular girl among the first year middle school boys as well, which is a surprise, but sure. I'm imagining that a lot of her popularity and her perceived popularity came with the whole Rose Bride shebang, right? Came with the Saionji connection, and then whatever existed before that. And of course, Wakaba had been susceptible to these rumors and made up her mind about her before even getting to know Anthy and all this other stuff, right? We bring up the Queen of the Dance here, Dance Queen, and she has been nominated for this year's ball. I do hope you will attend, Anthy. The boys have been looking forward to it. What's more, I've always wanted to be your friend. This friend connection, Anthy making friends. This, a line running through the episode for sure. And upon hearing that, potentially considers going to the ball. Right? We come back from the ad break and we get this fabulously framed scene. I don't know what game they're playing, but it's some kind of, card game. Something you'd do if you were bored, right? Like really, really bored. There's almost no music playing. It's just this like kind of really boring night for these two. And we see Utena here, right? If we can. Like right here. the POV shot before makes us think that Utena is holding the cards, right? We're bringing up the idea of her having no friends. Yeah, I do, right here. I'm playing with him right now. It's great. The camera panned down. It's actually just been Anthy playing cards with Choo Choo the entire time. To that end, I say play Utena in. She might enjoy it. I don't know. Cards are fun sometimes. However, there is a knock on the door, and there is 2 deliveries. First is a dress for Anthy, right? The executive committee have taken the liberty of sending this dress. I don't know what the hell the executive committee is, but I have to think that the bullies and Nanami are involved, right? And I don't know what these are. Is this some kind of like silica gel or some equivalent to make the dress just stay fresh or whatever? I'm guessing. I had really bad thoughts about what this may be. Initially, I had to get my mind out of the gutter, I think. I really like green and the purple for Anthy as well. I think that's a good color combination. And this box in particular is from President Kiryu, which is Toga. However, there is a message card in the box specifically for Utena, and it's this beautiful pink dress with the red rose too. Again, we're associating hair color with rose color, right? That's why white rose versus pink rose for Utena is very important as well. That's why I keep bringing it up. I'm thinking white rose is more associated with her princely side based on the prince's hair color, and pink is maybe closer associated with what she actually thinks, right? And her actual perspective on things. Or maybe her more feminine side. I don't know. Whatever that may be. Red rose, put it on a dress to give to somebody else, is almost saying like, I own you. It's almost giving like if you're going to wear this for me, I am in possession of you. So Utena initially says here, very quickly, I'm not interested in going to this party. Anthy then likewise says that she won't go as well. Despite being nominated as dance queen, I'm not good with crowded places. Which makes the end very, heartbreaking, right? When she's in the middle of this crowd, the center of attention, and things are going poorly for her. Everyone's faces begin to look the same and I get frightened. We'll bring this up again when that scene happens. I'm pretty sure everybody's face turns into a very similar face. However, upon hearing this, Utena has some amount of pity for Anthy, right? You have to go. You should go, right? Because again, this like kind of vacant smile, this looking down, this like, oh well, this is the lot I've gotten in life, right? This will do. This is fine, right? This is fine type smile. She's not yearning for something more. Just goes back to playing cards. Utena exclaims that she has to make more friends than just Choo Choo anyway. And again, if you say so, Master Utena, if you say that I must go to this thing, then I will go to this thing. Probably adding to the end with Utena feeling some amount of responsibility for the bad things happening to Anthy as well. Yeah, this guy's funny. I don't know. Toga's not that bad. He's just a little bit of a manipulator, I feel. Then we get these 2 back. They're just kind of talking about the show and the shadows and whatever else. I don't know. They're talking about the ballers in town. First, they meet up and they're doing some shopping, right? And you have 1 dog. Hello, 1 dog. Then there is 2 dogs, right? And you've got both dogs on a leash, and you're the prince, and you're swinging around the princess. What are we trying to say here? I'd love for somebody else to talk about this, because I want to talk about it, but I think that I'll say something offensive, and I don't want to. But I think there's some amount of meaning here for sure, like holding 2 dogs while spinning a princess. They may call it a ball, but really it's merely a place to hunt for boys. Young ladies these days are so troublesome. How dare they date? How shameless they want to date. And again, the whole dog thing. I just don't get it. Either way, we're here at the ball. The backgrounds are great. I like the decision for the background characters to kind of be shaded out as well. If they're not important, they're not deemed worthy of color. Good bit of color analysis can be done in this episode for sure. We have Toga waiting over on the balcony, waiting for Utena. However, the eyes get covered by one Nanami. Basically, the most important part of this scene is that we learned that they're siblings, right? And she's kind of all over him, but I don't know. It's not until she does the actions later on that it starts to get really bro-conny. Apparently we have this dance queen contest or whatever the hell, but it doesn't really come to fruition by the end. I mean, they kind of dance in the middle of everybody, but is that enough to qualify them for something later on? Because I feel like this is qualifying, right? That's the way I'm reading this. Nah, to crown Queen of the Dance, So does she get crowned by the end? Maybe. Or maybe it's not that important. And then a lot happens very quickly. We see Utena and Anthy, they both enter the party in their dresses, right? We see that Torga is very interested, if again VLC wants to behave, right there. And then straight after that, we have Nanami looking like, oh yes, it's all going to plan, right? So I'm holding onto my brother's arm. I think that he's looking at Anthy right now, right? And it's like, oh man, she's gonna get so embarrassed, and he's gonna fall even more in love with me, his sister, which is weird. He's at least gonna be single because he won't be after her anymore. You know what I mean? Am I making any sense here? When in reality, Torga is looking at Utena because that's who he's interested in. So again, we'll watch for it, right? Pink roses here. I'm gonna see when she costume changes if we see any white roses, right? So again, like picture this, because I know at the end here that she has a white rose on her new dress, right? Yes, new dress. It's just like a tablecloth or something. I don't know how she made it look that good as well, but anyway, I digress. You have white rose. So it's very interesting that Torga has set this up to where I'm going to make Utena wear my red rose and try to, woo her or whatever the hell. And then she springs into prince mode and then puts her white rose onto Anthy, right? Are you following me here? There's something in that for sure. So now I'm reading this right now as Utena only really went because the both of them were going, as she was kind of being support for Anthy as she tried to make friends, right? However, when Torga does come over, she still seems like she wants to ask him questions and stuff. I don't know. I think that her head's saying one reason to go to the party, but maybe her heart is saying another. Maybe. So Anthy very quickly gets stolen away by Nanami, only for the plan to be enacted, essentially. We'll see it as it plays. And Utena being kind of stupid. Well, how about that? She's already made a friend. Me being kind of stupid as well, for the record, right? So then Torga comes over and tries to use some amount of Riz on her. I don't know. The jury's still out as to if it worked or not. Don't you think would make a picture-perfect couple? Blush, blah, 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 blah. As that's happening, Nanami's plan is put into place. Anthy in the middle of the dance floor. Then she just kind of walks away. This is what we meant by all the faces kind of turn very similar when she's in a crowd. She gets nervous in front of people. This is Anthy's worst fear coming to reality, essentially, right? Like, look at this. That can't be very much fun. And that's not including the qualities of the dress, which makes it even more not very fun. They call her Nanami-sama. It's clear now that Nanami is like the head bully here, right? Yeah, your haircut's very funny. They're all very funny, actually. What the hell? What's going on here? Sure. There's this one boy that must have been in on the act as well. Goes and grabs some bottle of champagne or something. Hopefully alcohol-free. Otherwise, this is a this is a more interesting school than I thought. And yeah, whoever tries to steal my brother from me will face utter humiliation. It turns out the dress was a setup, essentially, right? It's made of a material that will crumple away upon getting touched by whatever this is, right? Water, liquid, or maybe it has some property with alcohol, I don't know. And again, this was all planned, the wetting of the dress, the disintegration, it's meant to embarrass her. Torga asks to dance with Utena, but she pulls away. This isn't my kind of party at all, this isn't my style. Then why did you come? Well, in case you were. In case I was what? And then hears Anthy scream and is sprung into action. This isn't my style is a very interesting line as well. Wearing a dress like this, dressing up, not having my Prince stuff on. However, I wanted to try doing this. I wanted to attend an event like this, just in case you were the Prince from my dreams, from my past, right? However, upon seeing Anthy in such a state, Utena must spring into action. Torga is clueless as to why Nanami would have planned this. It's because she's a brocon. I don't want to break it to you. And apparently just when things were getting good, kind of Utena's dress is flung into the air, right? Right here. So she's taken the dress off, flung it into the air. She must have had her Prince stuff on underneath. Or she's just very quick at changing clothes in the air. but still pink roses, right? So maybe I'm a little bit off base here. But I don't know, but then the white rose later on Anthy's costume, either way, grabs tablecloth and magically turns it into a dress for her, right? It's very romantic. And they play some kind of classical standard. I know I recognize it, but I kind of don't. I wanted to get a pause frame on your smile. You're very happy that this happened, which is good. And Utena here, very princely look. And the two dance together, with Utena taking the lead. You can see, as, you know, with a waltz, the man will generally put the hand on the waist. The woman puts the hand on the shoulder. So she's taking the lead in the dance. And yeah, it's just all very wonderful and stuff. We run through the same few shots a couple times as well. You know, just, you know, why not reuse them? And yeah, Anthy's very happy, which is nice. And seeing you unhappy is now good. I like that. We have like one final scene here between Torga and Nanami, right? Nanami asks who that girl is with Anthy, right? Who saved her? It's Utena. What do you say something? And then he's like, hey, yeah, well, she's quite something, right? However, how audacious of her to cast aside the dress I sent her. Upon hearing that, he sent this girl a dress. He must like her. Therefore, I think Nanami's sights are now going to be firmly on Utena. I don't know how successful this is going to be. Yeah, and we finish off our dance here. We'll cut to a wide of the building, and that signifies the end of the episode. A very, very interesting one. I think that went into a lot of what is expected of me based on my role, right? And what do I actually want out of certain situations. Is almost an expectation on Anthy of being the Rose Bride that she doesn't make other friends as well. That she's personally devoted to just this. And only upon her master wishing that she would make some friends does she actually go out and do so. It's an interesting one. It's very interesting. And I'm going to watch episode 4 now. I am fully aware that it is part 1 of a 2-parter, but we're going to watch it because I have the time. So I'm going to flick that on very, very shortly. But this episode here was great. Rightio, I have episode 4 of Revolutionary Girl Utena up there ready to go, making sure that I didn't just hit the hotkey to end the recording, which I didn't, which is good. 23 minutes and 27 seconds on this one. Some stuff subset, picture-in-picture in the description below, and yeah, just going to give it a 3, 2, 1. Rightio, 3, 2, 1, go. And we're back. Yeah, I just read a little bit more in the Google Doc, right? And it's a very, very broad subject, right? It's the real Utena. Who is she? What role is the real Utena? Is it this princess role? Is it the prince role? Is it some mix in between? Is it neither of them? I don't know. I really don't. I think it is fruitless to try to ascribe people in reality into certain roles as well, right? Everyone else is way more broad than that. But there's a clear dichotomy being made between princely Utena and princess Utena, right? So, like, what do I make of that? Unsure. White Rose, by the way. Insane. I'm the smartest man on the planet. But you know what I mean, though, right? Like, oh my god, that's Nanami in the opening. Like, fighting. Oh shit. I didn't see that before. That's cool. Yeah, I mean, in a very similar way, who is the real Anthy? Is the real Anthy a bride? Is the real Anthy whoever she is in the quiet moments with Utena? I don't know. Is she broader than that? Most probably. Okay, we're at the Upside Down Castle. Who the hell's Mickey? Oh, okay. I have to recapture that music? Did we skip ahead? Okay. Huh? That's information overload. I just saw like 10 things I already want to speak about. But sure. Okay, Blue Rose boy. Stopwatch boy. Okay. But that was a flash forward, obviously. Oh, and he was playing the music diegetically. That's interesting.
Yes. I thought it was Nanami. I didn't want to be wrong. Miki. I couldn't tell, so sure. Maybe it's slightly off tune for you. But again, I'm no musical maestro. But I'm pretty smart, eh? Who is that certain someone? Yeah, it's internal for you, for sure. And yeah, okay, so that's called Prelude of the Sunlit Garden. Okay, Wakaba is not very smart. That's a bad stereotype. But how can you say that when you're so terrible? Okay, but she cares about her grades a little bit. That's Anchi humming to herself with very long legs. She gets slapped every episode. Oh my god. Huh. Okay, so yeah, you're just feeding info to these terrible people. No, not my books. I need those. Oh, music. That was fantastic. Hang on, I'm not quite comfortable. Maybe there's better. Yeah. Hey, look, Anshi's walking with Boy. It's Mickey. Kaoru. Okay, he's also very smart. Okay. Yeah, okay. I understand the type of women that would be interested for sure. Oh no, he's part of the student council. Utena should at least put two and two together here. You're interesting to me as well, whoever you are. Are we ever going to hear about the stopwatch? Older women are a fan of him? Interesting. Um, okay. What an odd thing to say. Are you talking about me? Oh, okay, you helped her with her grade.
Mickey seems really nice. You guys didn't speak before this point? Anyway. Yeah. The student council. Whatever you say. Yeah. Yeah. That's fantastic. I love that. Explain. Okay. This is very interesting. Yeah. I'm not very good at math. It's fine. Hey man, we're all for girls in STEM. That's what this channel's about. uh, yeah, the whole math boy thing has always been a really weird one for me. Because girls were really good at math at my school. Like, they just were. I was pretty good. I wasn't terrible. But I haven't done a math problem in years now, obviously. Is that guy there the girl you want to play for? Yeah, that radiant thing. I love the yellow there. Oh, zoom in, please. There we go. Where's your blue hair, son? That's just gorgeous. How pretty's that? There she is, in the sunlit garden. Huh. Nanami's so evil. She's so funny. Hey, good for him. She sounds pretty base to me. Interesting. Of your girl's identity. Yes. Hello. Are you tutoring the both of us now? What? I mind a lot, actually. So again, Anshi and Utena both aren't aware of the plan from last episode, right? So they're not antagonistic towards Nanami yet. Yeah, in this one room, yeah. She's so evil. No, not the snail. Why would there be a snail in her eraser thing? Not the shoujo laugh. Oh, hell no. She's my favorite. I'm tired of pretending she's not. She's so terrible. Monomial? Okay. I love it with the yellow roses. What? Why? Oh, is that what she feeds Choo Choo, maybe? My snail friend's home? Oh, that's great. With the names of the snails, too. What else did you bring? Hello? That's an Australia reference. But that was a garter snake. We do love our repetition. Is it going to be full of snakes again? Yeah, this shot's fantastic, too. She probably is a weirdo who does that anyway. You can see the snake behind her. Full of snakes. Full of mongoose. Poor snake. What a way to go. Mongoose-kun. Did they notice the snake at all? I think the stopwatch must be like when he's working on something versus once he's figured it out. It's his like thinking time. Alright, rule of threes. What do you have? What the octopus? That doesn't even make any sense. There's no water in there. Again, this is such a traditionalist look at femininity because, like, if I knew a girl who like kept a bunch of pets around, like cool pets, that's fucking rad. Like, you know what I mean? That's a conversation starter. Again, was made in '97, literally the year I was born, by the way. But what's in the closet? That's the question, right? What the fuck? And it's huge. Oh, he's cool. No, he's cute. Okay. He looks like that one Mario anime.
Thanks for teaching us math. Hey, now mark the octopus's paper too. And she loves animation? Yo. She's cool. Did Nanami go home? Where is she? Nah, she's ascended to another realm. No, it's been eaten by Choo Choo. It's actually her best friend. Nanami got shit on this episode. Oh. Bro, I could use some of that right now. Again, I feel like I've said it every week. It's fucking hot as shit today. Do yourself a favor and look up some of the temperatures in Australia at the moment. Alright, she's breaking. Somebody save Choo Choo? Okay. What do you mean, you too? Like Utena? Yeah, she ran off. No, I think there's one party that stuffed this up. It starts with a na and ends with a nami. Or maybe some octopus. Cook some squid. And this is when you're going to find out it's the exact same person? Maybe? At that point, I'm just rooting for my boy Mickey. He's the new protagonist. I don't care. With Choo Choo on vocals? Insane. Yeah, but she's playing it perfectly. Just like it was back in that day. Oh. Your sister. Okay, so it wasn't the same person. That is now a sister, but she perfectly reminds you of the way she played. There it is. Oh, the colors too. And the same filter put over that memory as well. And end of the episode. I believe. Yeah. Obviously continuing on next week with now a little bit more info. It wasn't the worst cliffhanger ever. I'm actually not that mad about it stopping here. It just gives us a pretty definite lead into next episode, where it'll continue to be about this Mickey dynamic, I guess. Between him, his sister, something being implied that maybe happened there. That maybe that radiant thing went away. You know? There's somebody senpai, the blonde-haired one. She seems interested in Mickey, right? At least a little bit. There's an implication from saying that older women were interested in Mickey, and then she's his senpai, and then cool. We have this like kind of math line as well. Kind of men good at math, women not. Logical thinking, which again is based on From what I understand, nothing at all. But anyway, like, there's a lot of things to go off into the next episode. It's almost not even like Utena's that relevant here. She's relevant in so much as she's relevant to Anthy. I think that's where we're going. But either way, I mean, I'm gonna like analyze this episode now. I'm gonna like watch it again and talk about it. There mightn't be as much to talk about. A huge portion of the episode was kind of looking at different animals coming out of the room, but that was hilarious. So I don't really mind. Just again, there'll be a few things, I'm sure. Episode 4 of Revolutionary Girl, Utena in the bag. I can see how it is a two-parter. I can see where we will continue from this. It's even been foreshadowed in the start of episode 4. But all in all, I'm pretty happy at our stopping point, which is nice. It's really, really nice. I've written a little bit here, but not really a ton. There's not. This episode was definitely the setups, right? And we'll get the payoff next week. Maybe that's where a little bit more of the discussion will lie. We did meet a couple new characters. I have some questions about them and what they're doing and what their thoughts are, and some old characters too, and what their fucking problems are. But I digress. It was a good episode. I thought it was directed very, very well again. Maybe I should look into some specific stuff on that, but I'm sure if people wanted to say so, they would. Anyway, Miki, blue hair, plays piano, is very smart. We're seemingly going with both Kaoru Miki as his actual name, but a nickname of like Mickey as well. A little bit more of a westernization. So, I don't know, I'm probably just going to say Mickey. It seems fair enough. Juri, who is the blonde-haired one on the student council. I'm imagining she's a girl. Imagining. That doesn't mean that I'm correct. I'm willing and able to change my opinion on this kind of stuff. She seems mostly interested in Mickey. I don't know, at least a little bit, right? There's a hand on the shoulder, there's a loving look, there's the start of the episode where she makes some comments about Utena's line saying that she's completely correct. But we'll rewatch that very, very shortly. We scroll down here. So this point here was from last episode, and it's just I kind of talked about it in the opening credits. What role is the real Utena? Who is the real Utena? Is she lying to herself when she has to act princessily based on her gender? Or is she lying to herself trying to act like this prince for whatever other reason, right? Or is that a really reductive way of looking at character? Is there such a thing as the real Utena? Apply it to yourself. I'm sure based on company and situation, you're changing your personality quite a bit. At least a little bit, right? If I'm at a dinner with my grandmother, right, I'm going to be acting differently than when I'm with my younger brother, right? That just makes sense. If I'm at work and I work with majority women, I'm going to be acting differently from when I'm at the pub with the boys, right? It's just what humanity's like. That's what having a personality's like, right? My personality is it's trying to like insert anime into every single conversation, and then everyone tries to like fucking beat me up for it, and it's very annoying. So maybe I need to fucking pull my head in a bit, but I don't know. Either way, I think this is an interesting point of discussion. Regardless, just this kind of swaying of Utena between the two. Right? Very, very prominent in episode 3 for sure. Next up, we have Miki's sister. I was thinking that this was going to be two things. I was thinking it was going to be a love interest early doors that was taken away from him for some reason or moved away or any of the other cliches there, right? Or I was thinking it was going to be Anthy from way, way, way back in the day, and that Miki actually had this closer personal connection to her. And in a very similar way from Utena and the prince, like, Anthy was almost going to be Miki's princess. Like, I can't quite remember her, but she really changed my opinion on things and really was this important person to me in the past. And from that point on, I was like, shit, I'm on Miki's side. I want them two to get together. That sounds great. However, it merely reminds him of it, because in fact, that person in the flashback was Miki's sister. That radiant thing went away. I think we're implying that something has happened, whether she's died, whether something else has happened where she can't play music anymore. moved away. Cliche, I know, but still, it'll be one of those things, right? And then, of course, you're reminding me of this great time that I used to have with music, seeing your smile. It makes this music return to me. It makes my heart almost skip a beat. That was fantastically well executed. But again, I see why Miki has feelings for Archie now for sure. Juri, right? Who didn't really get a lot of screen time this episode. I think she's clearly interested in Miki to a romantic end, maybe. To a friendly end, maybe. I'm leaning romantic, but what do I know? One to watch. I think that's one that will be explored in greater detail as we continue with the show. The last one's a bit of a funny one. Like, what's Nanami's deal? Like in general, but specifically with the gender role stuff, right? She's a real stickler for. Boy will be so unimpressed with girl if she doesn't show traditional girlish qualities constantly, right? And again, this may be a product of its time, a little bit more of a 90s thing. But in my experience and talking to other boys, I don't know a single boy ever that's been put off by a girl having a traditionally masculine or gross hobby. What? You're a weirdo if you think that way. That's weird. Everyone has hobbies. I have girly hobbies sometimes, right? I like to keep the place clean, at least a little bit. That's, traditionally girly. It's also good hygiene. Like we I don't know, man. I feel like this one's a little bit, it's not solved, right? But it's a product of its time, right? And maybe this is just my limited perspective on things. Maybe this is something that people out there actually think. Just not me, just not people I associate with. Let's say that. Maybe it's a class thing too. I'm obviously not upper class. Maybe it's a bit more of a thing in the higher classes. Anyway, I'll get this episode up again and we'll have a little talk, a little bit more of a talk. So we start the episode at the dueling arena below the castle in the sky. And I think this dialogue will be very interesting to reread now that we have a little bit more context. In the end, it still came down to this Miki. So, in the end, we didn't want to fight each other, right? We didn't want to do the duel thing. Miki said explicitly a number of times that he didn't care so much that way to want to participate in such a thing. However, his mind may be changed by the events of the end of the episode and the whole radiant thing idea. Yes, despite everything, I have to recapture that music, says Miki. And the only way I'm going to get access to that music is if I have Anthy by my side. Therefore, I need the bride no matter what. Utena comments that sitting at his piano suits him better, right? Than this stuff, than the fighting. They're going off and dueling, right? Then far away, kind of almost sitting in the Torga spot, right, we have Juri, who has the binoculars out. She agrees with Utena. She thinks that Miki is better sitting at his piano instead of doing this fighting stuff. Again, you may be saying so because you don't like him being interested in Anthy, right? Because you're interested. That makes sense to me, right? I will make the Rose Bride mine, even if it means hurting you. Fantastically directed. I love Utena in the reflection of the sword there. And yeah, that's our little intro. On guard. We're going to start fighting. Then we flash back to Miki on the piano. He's playing almost this kind of Utena main theme that we've heard a number of times through the show already. He is visited by one Nanami. If you notice through the episode, Nanami is slowly becoming one of my favorites. I just think that she's fucking bonkers. I think that she's like got a fucked up worldview. But is she entertaining on screen? Hell yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about me that I'm so interested in Nanami and Wakaba. Those are like my two favorite characters so far. I don't know. I don't know what that says. So from the dialogue here, Miki is the star of the academy. He's the best piano player, but he isn't entering competitions at the moment. And he hits one key there, right? Apparently this piano seems to be slightly off key. Really? It was tuned last week. Cue me saying in the reaction, then maybe it's you that's off tuned. And cue Miki saying like literally the exact same thing, right? The problem isn't the music that I'm playing. The problem is the person hearing it. And not hearing it in that same radiant way that I used to, right? Apparently Miki always plays this specific piece when he's alone as well. Apparently this specific piece is the reason why he's playing in the first place. I keep playing in the hopes a certain someone will hear this music. That certain someone, of course, being his sister. You're misunderstanding this, which is great. You think that it may be you. Apparently, he can't play it quite the way he likes. No matter what, I can't get the sound I seek, that radiant sound. Of course, Nanami thinks that it sounds fine. It sounds great to my ear. What are you talking about? Again, it's an internal problem for Miki. You can't play this piece not unless you possess eternal beauty within yourself. Interesting. And then Anthy plays the piece at the end of the episode. I wonder what they're trying to say there. Possess eternal beauty within yourself. You're perfectly in tune with your own personal emotional side and confident. The name of the song, of course, is The Sunlit Garden. Nanami gets some ideas based on seeing this image of Anthy, watering the flowers of the lake, the roses specifically. Again, now the symbolism of her watering the roses is way more pronounced now that I know what the roses represent as well, those being the various suitors of the rose duels. So now Nanami has the wrong idea that, hey, the reason why he's sad and why he won't enter competitions is because Anthy won't answer him, right? Won't listen to the song, won't reciprocate the feelings, right? So now as a result, she tells the goons and the goons start to kind of bully Anthy, right? First, we have this scene here with Wakaba, and we start talking about math grades. It sets up, I guess, the plot element of the episode, which is Miki visiting their dorm, that being Anthy and Utena's, because they have bad math grades. Apparently, Wakaba's mum used to tell her that a truly fine woman foists all the logical thinking onto men, which is a pretty sexist way to think, I think, but I digress. We're conflating a lot of men with math. Men must be good at math, women not good at math. It's interesting in the context of Utena, of course, who is not split between the two, but kinda, right? She displays princely qualities whilst maintaining her gender as a woman, right? I think that's the way we're seeing it. It's interesting that this logical thinking side, the show's words, not mine, is being kind of translated across, or isn't being translated across here from the princely side. Apparently she's not usually bad at math, but has been distracted lately. Maybe that's the whole seeing the rose seal on other men thing, and thinking that the prince may be involved. Of course, as this is going on, Anthy gets jumped. As always, it's a slap. It's always a slap. An episode hasn't gone by where she hasn't gone and slapped. And Anthy's caught off guard here too, right? The girls are like, Mickey's so in love with you that he won't enter piano competitions because of you, right? It's like, I had no idea. What are you talking about? Again, she's being spread false information from the other girls based on a rumor about herself. You know what I mean? Like, she's not even privy to it. However, Stopwatch Boy is here to save the day. Mickey jumps in and defends Anthy from the bullies. In a very princely way, helps her with the books. He just seems like a good guy, I don't know. So again, it was easy in the Rose Duels before to side with Utena, right? Saionji sucks. Those are the only two duels we've seen before, the duels between her and Saionji. This guy's cool. I don't know. He could win, and I'm not that mad about it. Maybe episode 5 will change my tune there a little bit. We see the first evidence of one of my favorite pieces of the episode too. Anthy thanks Miki here with a smile, and then we see the music, right? And kind of these lines on either side, this radiant yellow, this kind of sunbeam, right? And it kind of makes his heart skip a beat. That's the kind of idea that I'm getting from this. A little bit of a blush, a little bit of an unsure look. It's very, very well done. I think, yeah, associating like the little like flourish in the music kind of goes up tonally as well. It just really makes you feel the feeling of Miki in this moment, right? I don't know, I'm kind of rooting for them in a way. Utena and Wakaba both spot Miki and Anthy down below, and we get a little bit of context here. He's a middle school first year, however, he's already doing college exams and stuff because he's so smart. He's also an absolute prodigy on the piano. Oh, he's also nationally ranked at fencing? Oh no. I didn't read that part. Apparently this specific character design is popular with older women as well. I know the older women you speak of. You know, if you know, you know. Mitsuko and her friends never stopped talking about him. Who's Mitsuko? I don't know. I think this is the best look we see at the stopwatch thing that that he has going on here as well. Like, he'll stop it when he has an answer, I think. So this is my thinking time. Click, right? Like, it's like he's that studious that he's always trying to get his times down on doing various exam questions, right? Here we have Juri Senpai, obviously very official, got the whole student council garb on. And yeah, hand on the shoulder, I don't know, leaning in. There's some amount of care here. These two clearly like each other, at least a little bit, even if not on a romantic level. Apparently, Miki normally keeps his distance, doesn't mark papers for other students. However, this paper is for Anthy. He follows this up by saying, happiness can sometimes be surprisingly near, can't it, right? I'm sure Juri is getting different ideas from this, considering how close she is. However, you're talking about Anthy, right? And you talk about that moment you had with your heart skipping a beat in the courtyard before. So now we have Miki, Anthy, and Utena all back at their dorm, kind of just doing a bit of a study session, right? You know, he's checked over her papers. They're going to have to do makeup tests. This is a perfect opportunity for us to get tutored, essentially, right? Must be nice to get your papers corrected. I need to get myself a logical boyfriend, says Utena. Again, I'm imagining that specific line may come back in episode 5 a little bit. We will see, though. Utena then quickly learns that he's part of the student council, and that's why he's interested in Anthy, and you know, obviously she goes a little bit defensive here. That's why you're here. You must be after the Rose Bride. Please don't get the wrong idea. That's not why I'm here. I don't care about that kind of stuff. I really don't want to duel you. I'm really just tutoring her. Please believe me. But we've seen the start of the episode. A duel eventuates anyway. Same thing happens here again. Smile from Anthy and the heart skipping a beat somewhat. If I can grab it. Yeah. He loves it. Utena sees this, smirks a little bit, says, well, it looks like you're awfully interested in her anyway. Apparently Himamiya reminds him of a girl he used to know, his sister, as we learn in the end of the episode. However, Utena remains a little bit skeptical about him still, despite everything. You're clearly blushing in her presence. I don't really believe you. And Utena starts to blame the duels and the stuff from the student council for her bad grades a little bit. We're stuck making up, you know, doing makeup tests because of it. This is when she accidentally revealed that her math grade is bad as well and joins in the tutoring. We get a very interesting scene here between Torga and Miki after the ad break. Miki is now bathed in sunlight. He's not jamming down on the keys. He's got a delicate touch to the thing. It sounds a lot better. Again, my cursory, I guess, Hibiki euphonium knowledge, I guess that this version sounds better, but I couldn't hear all that much of a difference. Yeah, not beating the piece into submission without that usual forcefulness. You're a little bit softer. Have you found that radiant thing that you talked about? Yes, I might have. He's been like a cool guy. I don't know, Torga might not be that bad. He is a manipulator still, though. As he's playing, he thinks back to this situation long ago, right? Playing the piano in tandem with another girl. They're both in very, very posh clothes. It makes sense that this is a sister. What doesn't make sense is the hair color, but we're going to let that be, I guess. I do like, again, this kind of, this is a memory. It's got a little bit more of this silhouette-y style, right? You don't remember all of the details. Even the background's not in as great a detail as the rest of the show. It's very drawerly. But what was important was the piano and the music, which I remember completely. Very, very interesting line here from Torga as well. I envy you. If you do find that radiant thing, be sure to tell me what it is. It's like he's lost something as well and he's trying to gain it. Maybe that thing is Utena, or you think it is. I don't know. He seems very genuine here. I don't know. However, now the brother's involved. Now Nanami's like super annoyed. What is this radiant thing that they keep speaking of? And yeah, we get these two again, the shadow twins. In elementary school, my first boyfriend was the best at math in the whole class. Lucky you. Oh, that's news to me. You had a boyfriend back then? Yeah, but he found out about my love of pro wrestling and my love for super garlic ramen. Then he said, now I know what kind of girl you truly are, and he walked away. This seems a lot like what Nanami is trying to do during the second half of this episode, trying to separate Anthy from Miki, and probably by extension Torga, by displaying these traditionally masculine things. Not feminine anyway, right? Smelly, huge, greasy food and pro wrestling. versus keeping various wild animals around in the room, a room that she has pride in keeping clean, apparently. O lover, O youth of dreaming lover, of your girlfriend's identity, have you heard the truth? Have you heard the truth of your girlfriend's identity? Is this speaking to Anshi's animal habit? He has heard the truth and he doesn't care. Anyway, I may be misinterpreting that. Now, again, as I've said before, this second half of the episode may be a little bit quicker. Essentially, it's the same joke playing out 3 times. It's a very good joke. I like the joke a lot. It's just I'm not gonna review it 3 times. One is snails in a pencil case. One is snakes in a desk, but actually a mongoose, and one is octopi or octopus in the closet. Nice little character moment here too, right? Calling is that Mickey's girlfriend, Nanami, right? He's like, absolutely not, like very quickly, immediately, and then kind of this like pissed off look from Nanami. What do you mean absolutely not? Very, very funny. Are you only saying absolutely not because you want to keep yourself open for an Anshi, maybe? Potentially. So again, this place is clean. Himamiya takes pride in keeping it clean. Then Nanami goes into overdrive, right? Your days of thinking she's cute is soon to be over. I'm gonna put not pencils in a pencil case. I'm gonna put snails in a pencil case. It's gonna make her look very unappealing for some reason. Again, this kind of dream sequence that Nanami has that gets replayed and replayed is very, very funny. So, like, this initial line of, like, Miki saying, Utena, I'm jealous of you to live with such a girly girl, such a feminine girl. And it's like, oh no, look at the snail in her pencil case. It turns out she isn't feminine after all. Himamiya, I misjudged you. I'm so disillusioned by you. This is the end for you. And then big shoujo laugh. This is just a fantastic shot. The judgy too in the back while I get my just desserts. Finally get one over on her. And yeah, she goes to put the plan into action, reusing a couple of shots there. So it was going to plan initially, but then there's a ton of snails in the pencil case, right? And yeah, this happens essentially 3 times, but the other 2 don't really care. Like, Miki in particular is like, that's very much a Himamiya thing to do, right? And then Utena's the one that's trying to draw her in line. I said this isn't a good spot for them. And it's like, no, that's a very, very Anshi thing for her to do. And this is fucking with Nanami, right? So you're a princely upper-class boy. Why do you find this appealing and not me, when I've been taught all these things about gender roles and femininity and stuff, right? This is breaking my worldview. The snails are also named Catherine, Juliet, and Marcelina. So, probably based on classical pieces of literature, I think. Juliet's the only one that's jumping out at me. But, Marcelina sounds very much like a snail name. I don't know what it is about it. Yeah, interesting. Again, now the same thing plays out with a snake. Like, very, very much so. We see the same, like, dream sequence again, even. However, as Nanami goes to enact the plan, it turns out there is Mongoose. Very, very kind of cunty Mongoose, already kind of living in the desk. And I just love how much, like, no one cares. It's like, why did you bring a snake then? Nobody even queries it. It's funny. Again, as I said before, like, both Utena and Anshi weren't aware of episode 3's plot. They just kind of fixed it in the end and it was fine. They weren't aware of how devilish you really were. So they're just, completely open-minded right now, and you're just, like, going around the room fucking with things. Yeah, look at Anshi. She's so cute. Just putting the mongoose back in the desk drawer. Again, same thing plays out with Octopus now. Shoujo laugh, point at Anshi. Try to go to the closet to put the octopus in there. Even Shoujo laughing in real life at this point, before opening it up, and it turns out there's already giant squid in there. Look, he's so cute too. He's wearing a little bandana. This is adorable. Yeah, I wouldn't keep him in the closet though. Can he breathe? Can he breathe? I don't think he can breathe. Oh, I'm stupid. Isn't that the inflatable they used last year's school festival? I thought this guy was real. I thought he was my best friend. Of course he's inflatable. Look how latexy he is. Okay, sure. Of course that is now playing upon our expectations as well. We expected another live animal to be there. However, it was just an inflatable, right? We were almost lulled into the same sense of thinking it was real as Nanami was, right? Because we were seeing the scene through her eyes. Interesting. Okay, sure. I would keep a giant, like, octopus inflatable too if he was that cute. You don't want to see what's in my closet. And yeah, everyone else except for Nanami is kind of hitting it off, like, genuinely helping Utena with her math as well. Again, Mickey's just a stand-up guy. Anthy then gets to laughing at this little, like, kind of flip book animation that she's drawn for herself, I think. But it's gotten very late. I think it's 7 o'clock? No, it's 8 o'clock there, so they need to eat something very soon. Nanami's in another realm, right? She doesn't even want to know what's going on anymore. She's traumatized. Apparently, she already packed a bento. Choo Choo's into that one. Another live animal, of course. Now, this is the first time, like, this is actually a bad thing. She was trying to do a nice thing and make, like, a bento box for everybody. And Choo Choo's just fat. He kind of ruined everything, if I'm honest, right? But, like, you can't stay mad at that face, especially when he's what do you call it? They're like a little hot dog, right? I think that's what they are. You know, they're generally in bento boxes. It looks like a little hat on him, right? That's cute. Anthy's gonna go make something to eat. She makes shaved ice. Apparently it's lemon and strawberry together. And I guess I understand Nanami here too. Is crushed ice or shaved ice a real meal? No, it's water with some syrup on top. It has basically no nutritional value. If you're looking forward to like an actual meal that you prepared, of course you'd be kind of pissed off. Does she go about it in the wrong way? Yeah. Do we not like her? Yeah. Was she probably in the right here? Kinda. I don't know. Say you went to a friend's house and they served you like a snow cone for dinner. It's like, where's the rest of it? Yeah, she starts going off about her delicate stomach. It can't handle the shaved ice for dinner. Didn't you say you wanted to be him and me as friend? Why are you acting so dramatic? What's that you say? You're the one who likes her, Miki. Then you should confess, and him and me has already run away, right? So she didn't hear any of that part. So essentially, the situation got too much for Anthy, right? This is actually pretty consistent. So I think too many people were too loud at the same time and she needed to get away. Very similar to episode 3 when she was overwhelmed by the crowd and all the noise, right? She felt like all the eyes were on her. That was overwhelming. She needed to go to a little happy place, right? So she goes with her bestie, Choo Choo, and she starts playing the piano for a bit. Both Miki and Utena go off to go find her, but they hear the piano playing. It's the same song that Miki always plays, and they all go upstairs and hear this beautiful rendition of The Sunlit Garden, with vocals from Choo Choo as well, which is great. Apparently Utena didn't even know that she could play the piano. However, for Miki, he's taken back to that radiant moment he had with his sister way back in the day. Apparently she plays with the exact same timbre. And yeah, he's enraptured by her, right? I've finally found it, my radiant thing. And then yeah, this comes in, very similar color palette to the flashback that he has with the sister, right? Which is here somewhere. Yeah, very, very similar color scheme there for sure. And yeah, that's where we end the episode, kind of on this visual representation of Miki being reminded of this moment in time with his sister. So, yeah. Good episode again. Clearly more to go off here. Clearly these lines I've talked about already with math and gender roles being explored here. What it means to be masculine, what it means to be feminine. Juries involved. The music motif, Mickey's backstory. There's a ton to go off as we move into episode 5 next week. I don't know how many I'll do next week. It'll depend on how busy I am, which I'm unsure as of that right now. But we will see. So yeah, another good couple episodes. 2 thumbs up. Look forward to that next week. Just some chill stuff quickly. If you like the video, consider liking the video. If you like the video and you want to see more, consider subscribing to the channel. Comment below anything you thought about the episode, anything I could do to improve my presentation. Comment below. I'm doing follow for follow on Twitter, so follow me on Twitter if you'd like me to follow you back. And the Discord. Join Discord. Love Discord. Discord. And yeah, I'll be back next week for more Revolutionary Girl Utena. Hope to see you then. Thanks for watching. Cheerio and all that. Catch you next week. Bye-bye.